To be joining us here next, want to bring into the conversation. Now we want to bring in John Pence. He's the attorney and Republican strategist, also the CEO of Frontline. I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's start with the very basics. I do want to mention to the fact that folks who may not be familiar with what you've done in the past, you have also sort of been credited with how President Trump went about his Venezuela policy during his first administration. Can you sort of talk about what happens behind the scenes when a president is trying to decide how he's going to tackle some of these international issues?
Well, President Trump is always committed to putting America first, and today we saw him do just that. I mean, incredible work by the military under President Trump's leadership. And think about this. Our military flew in the dark of night to a city of 5 million people and took out the narco-terrorist leader of the Venezuelan cartel and are bringing him back, Nicolas Maduro, alive to face American justice. It's just an incredible moment of greatness, American greatness. And thank you, President Trump, for making this happen.
And so as we're kind of looking at some of the video footage that's also coming into our newsroom from everything we saw with this attack a bit earlier today, John, I want to ask you, we've seen mixed reaction on the Republican side of things to this. Can you sort of first start off with what President Trump has sort of said with his America First policy overall? This seems like a promise that he made a while ago and is making good on it.
Absolutely. President Trump made clear that if you poison our people, if you threaten our security and our safety, we will hold you accountable. And just last month, President Trump and his team released the national security policy that said we're going to go back to core priorities of putting America first. That means protecting not just America, but our neighbors in our hemisphere. And this move by President Trump is doing just that by saying, Nicolas Maduro, if you're going to result in the poisoning of and deaths of over 300,000 Americans, we're going to bring you to justice. And I thank God that our troops were safe and that this mission was successfully executed. And now due process will be brought and Nicolas Maduro will be brought to American justice swiftly. I have no doubts.
And John, as we're taking a look at this is from Thomas Massie, the Republican, saying that the Attorney General and others legally characterized the attack in Venezuela as an arrest with military support. Meanwhile, Trump announces that he's taken over the country and will run it until he finds someone suitable to replace him. Added bonus says that American oil companies will get to exploit the oil. It's sort of surprising maybe to some that a Republican is speaking this way about President Trump and sort of his actions. Can you walk us through what's happening within the party and why there are these different reactions?
I'd say President Trump has been incredibly clear that this is about America first, that the problems in Venezuela provide a pipeline of poison into our country. And that all starts under the narco-terrorist organization of Nicolas Maduro. He's gone. He now is facing justice here. And this policy to remove Nicolas Maduro via American strength actually will bring more peace to our hemisphere. Of course, it's up to the Venezuelan people as to the path forward. But I can tell you, Christina, I have tons of friends living in South Florida who can't return to Venezuela, who want to go back, and have texted me that today is the best day of their life because of President Trump's decisive action to make our hemisphere safer. And I'm just incredibly grateful of President Trump and his leadership in keeping the American people safe with this action in Venezuela.
So we are going to continue to keep our eyes on everything as it's happening, as long as these live feeds are still coming to us here on Live Now from Fox. John Pence, we certainly appreciate you for joining us here on Live Now to break down the very latest.
Thank you.